Hi, this is Waffles, and I have your bad trip advice from an anxious Beagle with Waffles. Okay, so you know that I am generally a straight arrow, and I do not get into illicit things, except maybe the cat food sometimes, and I am working that out in therapy. But I feel like I need to tell you about something that happened last week so that you can maybe use this as a teaching moment in your own life. So, you also know that Rufus is an anxious beagle himself, although he's a golden retriever, but for all intensive purposes, he's an anxious beagle. So he gets 2 medications when there are fireworks or thunderstorms. I do not. I mean, I don't love those things, but generally I am okay. But Rufus's drugs are tucked into these delicious, oh my God, they are so delicious, little mozzarella balls. And management just tosses them to him, and he catches them without even realizing there's medicine in them. And then I usually get the 1 plain cheese ball out of the 3, and I'm very glad for it. Well, Mr. Management tossed 1 cheese ball with the vaguely orange capsule in it to Rufus, and then tossed 1 cheese ball to me, and then the 3rd one to Rufus, only to realize that the cheese ball number 2 had a pill in it. But I was not going to give that cheese ball back, and I swallowed it. Yes, I did. And within an hour, man, I was on the couch looking down at Rufus, who was lying on the floor, and he looked like he was about 3 inches long. I was so high up. It was so weird. My feet didn't look like my feet. Whose feet they were, I couldn't say, but I think it suffers us to say that I was tripping balls for like 8 hours. And while I have been assured that this does not really happen, I am convinced my ears switched places on my head. The cats kept coming up to me and saying, "How many fingers am I holding up?" And I'm like, "You guys don't have fingers." And they would say, "We don't." And then they floated away on a lily pad. And I don't know where a lily pad came from. Maybe it was that giant bullfrog. Anyway, I was so hungover the next morning, and I drank all the water in the dog bowl, and the toilet bowl, and the magical cat bubbler bowl, and then I slept all day. Until Mrs. Management tried to get me to catch the stuffed biscuit with butter on it, and I just let it bounce off my head like 15 frickin' times. It was so annoying. Anyway, here's my advice to you. If you find yourself having a bad trip from eating some other dog's medicine, I got no advice for that. You know what? You're just going to have to ride it out like one of those crazy waves, man, and then sleep it off. See you next week.